guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. For today's video, I thought I would do another story time for you guys, and today's story time is going to be about my wedding shopping experience in India. So for those of you who don't know, or you probably already do know by now, that I'm not from India, I'm from Bangladesh. I've never been to India in my life. My parents have been, my aunts and uncles, they've all been on a tourist holiday type thing, but I've never been to India before. Just a quick disclaimer as well. Everything that I'm going to talk to you guys about is based on my personal experience, everything that I experienced whilst out there. This is in no way to bash or come for Indian people, because that is not the case at all. It's just my experience being a tourist in India. I'm pretty sure it could be the same thing for people that go to Bangladesh as a tourist, when you don't have anyone that you know or anyone that can show you around, anyone that actually lives there, and you kind of have to rely on just public transport and random people's sort of directions on how to get where and where the best places are to go and that kind of stuff. So I'm just putting it out there. This is just based on my personal experience. It is in no way to come for anyone or Indians or anything like that. So yeah, if you want to know how it went and how I did all of my wedding shopping, then just keep watching. Okay, so today I actually have all my notes handy, so I'm not waffling for ages. Right, so first things first, who went, how did it all come about? So I went to India for my wedding shopping in February 2019, so last Feb I went. I went for 1 week, and I went with both of my parents. I went with my dad's sister, who's my aunt, and then I went with my mum's nephew and his wife, who are my parents' age, so my cousin and his wife. So the 6 of us went together, just us adults, and we were there for 1 week. We decided to go in Feb because it would give a good enough time to kind of get the shopping done and still have enough time for my wedding in the summer. Also, the weather's nicer out in India, and over there at that time of year it's a bit cooler, it's not boiling hot and stuff. So that's why we decided to go in Feb. So the whole plan kind of came about when I was kind of starting to look out and get ideas on what I want to wear for my wedding, what I want my family to wear, what kind of colours and outfits I would like for each event, because as you guys know, we have a ton of events. So I spoke to a few of my friends who are Indian. They all said the same thing, and they literally recommended me to go to India to do my shopping. So I gave it a lot of thought, and I did a lot of research as well into it, and I just thought, for me, what my taste is here, I would probably only be able to get one super nice outfit with all that money, that I could probably get 3 outfits in India if the prices are that much cheaper. And I decided that I wanted to do my shopping from Chandni Chowk, because that is the wholesaler, that is where all the clothes are made that are obviously not designer. All the other clothes that get sent to the UK, to the retailers in the UK, it all comes from there. So I thought, let me just go to the source, and then I will have a wide range of options to pick from at a quarter of the price. So that was my plan. I don't know if any of you guys have ever explored on YouTube. You can literally search best place to get wedding outfit in Delhi, and it'll come up with a bunch of videos that have all the shops with all their contact information, prices, outfits, everything. So I did a whole bunch of research, wrote it all down in a booklet, kind of ticked what shops I would want to go to as a priority, and then I kind of just mentioned the idea to my dad, because I wasn't sure if my parents would be down with it, because obviously it's flights, hotel, food, all of that you have to take into account as well. So one night I kind of just mentioned it to my parents, and I was like, can we go to India for my wedding shopping? And then just to see how they'd react. And my dad was more than happy to. My mum was a bit hesitant at first, but my dad was like, yeah, why not? We can make a holiday of it. He wanted my sisters to come as well, but that didn't end up happening because of the timing that we were going and stuff like that. So my dad was on board. So lo and behold, it happened. We planned it all I think I mentioned it to them in November, December time. And then in January, we booked our tickets for Feb. And considering how close we booked to the time that we wanted to go, we got quite good prices with the flights as well. They were like under 400 each. Emirates Airways, which is obviously one of the best ones, and we got really decent like luggage weight. We had like 40 kg each, and there were 6 of us, so that was plenty of weight for us to get everything we needed for all of the wedding shopping. So yeah, that is how that all came about. So moving on to the hotel that we stayed at, so it said it was a 4-star hotel. And it said it was more closer to Delhi airport than it was where we were going to go shopping and stuff, but we were like, okay, whatever, it's fine. It's a 4-star one. Like some of the ones near Chandni Chowk that my dad had seen, they were like 3-star, so he was like, no, we can stay a little bit further and stay in a 4-star one, so we live in a bit of a nicer hotel, stay in a bit of a nicer hotel and stuff. So then we booked one that was about 40-minute drive from Chandni Chowk, so that is with no traffic. We didn't know that at the time. We were like, okay, 40-minute drive, it's not bad, we'll get a cab, blah, 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 it's calm. So we get there now. We went on February 19th, so we get there on the 20th, and oh my God, this hotel was anything but 4 stars. I don't know if I have any pictures. If I do, I'll try to insert one, but oh, it was so bad. It was so bad, you guys. Like, the bathroom stunk. So we got 3 double rooms, one for my aunt and uncle, one for my parents, and one for me and my auntie. We shared a room, and it was so bad. It was literally so gross, I can't even tell you. The bathroom stunk. It's like they'd never used or even heard of bleach in the bathroom. So that's the bathroom. Then the bed, yeah, double bed that me and my aunt are sharing. It was like damp. It wasn't dry, it was like damp, and it had that weird like off smell. Like, you know when you wash clothes and you don't let it dry properly and then it stinks because it didn't dry properly and you've like folded it away or something. So it stunk. And then we told them they changed the bedding. The next set of bedding was the exact same, and we were like, oh no. So then what me and my aunt did, we're both quite like people that are like kind of like, oh, we don't like when things are not nice or clean and tidy and whatever. So we both got our pajamas, like our fresh pajamas that we hadn't worn yet, and put it on our pillowcases. So we were sleeping on our pillowcases that had our pajama bottoms on top, so we weren't directly touching our face to the pillow and stuff. And it was just, oh my God, the hotel was not nice. Like downstairs they had like, it was like a breakfast included. So we went down for breakfast the first morning. What breakfast? It was like vegetables that looked like they'd been cooked over a week ago, water in like a tank, and then it's got like a little filter press and you put your cup underneath. That looked disgusting. It was brown. It was not clear, it was not blue, it was brown, like murky brown. Luckily for us, we took in our luggage a whole bunch of bottled water. So we took bottled water, we took snacks, we took clothes that we were gonna donate so we don't take up any space. So I basically spent that entire week looking like an absolute tramp because it was all tattered clothes that I'd taken to wear out there and kind of donate out there, and have an empty suitcase full of shopping that I can fill it with to come back. I didn't want my clothes taking up weight. So that was that. Like, we took our own water, so luckily we didn't need to drink the water that was from their little filter thingy. The only thing that was semi-decent was the tea, because even that, it was all right. But I don't know, we didn't really eat the breakfast, to be honest. It was just not nice. So moving on to the first full day, we kind of just got familiar with the area that we were staying in, what was around our hotel, where to get cabs from, or like whether we should get Ubers or this and that. So then we got an Uber and we didn't go to Chandni Chowk, we went to somewhere a bit closer to where we were actually staying, had a few shops. We mainly went to go get SIMs so we can contact each other. So that took up like half the day, because apparently you need ID or something, or you have to be a citizen for it to be a quick process to get a SIM. If you're just a tourist, it's completely different. So that ended up taking majority of our day, at least I would say 3.5 hours went just trying to figure that out. Plus, because we didn't know the area, so us women stayed in the car while my dad and my cousin went to go sort out the Sims. We didn't want to go exploring just in case, because obviously we wouldn't be able to contact them if we got lost or anything happened. So we were just trapped in the car for like 3 hours while they sorted it out, coming back and forth, whatever. In the end, we managed to get 2 Sims. So my dad had one and my cousin, he had one, and we kind of stayed in 2 groups, or like groups the whole time, so we can all contact each other. We also had like an initial browse around the local area just to see what there was, but where we went, it was more like a market rather than the center of Chandni Chowk. Moving on to the second day, we actually went into Chandni Chowk for the first time on our second day. Again, we had to get a cab. So I'll just tell you guys a little bit about the experiences of getting a cab in India when you're a tourist. When I tell you it was stressful, like seriously, it was stressful. So we all had the Uber apps on our phone. We would stand outside our hotel, we would call an Uber, it would say it's coming, and then it would say it's like 2 minutes away. Okay, a minute away, that your Uber driver has cancelled your trip. So literally that happened about 5-6 times. Like, we would try to get an Uber, we think it's coming, they say it's coming, and then they'll just like cancel the trip. So then we're like, okay, this is not going to work. We're not going to be able to get an Uber this way. And the strip that our hotel was on was a one-way system. So our hotel was like here, you can only go one way, and there's a whole barricade and the traffic on the other side was going the other way. So there's no real way that they could come, turn around and take us or whatever. It was just really tricky. And what we ended up doing is we ended up walking for like half a mile further down near the main intersection where there was a giant roundabout, just to try and get a cab. And then that took us like a solid half hour, 40 minutes. So already we felt like we were wasting our second day. We only had like a week there, and we were already kind of wasting time. Like sorting out the phones took ages the first day. The second day we're like struggling to get a cab because it's almost impossible. And then we finally get an Uber after we've walked through the dust and dirt and whatever for like miles on end, what felt like. And then we finally managed to get an Uber. And what we took with us as well, we took our mini luggage, like our hand luggage with us, empty. So when we do shopping, we can fill it up, and then it's easy to pull along and carry around and whatever. And we also put our snacks and our water bottles and stuff in there as well. We were cautious not to take like handbags that were just open or casually on our back or backpack or any of that, because there's a lot of pickpocketers and stuff like that. You can easily get mugged or any of that stuff. So we thought it's just easier if we just put it in the hand luggage. So we get a cab, and the first cab to Chandni Chowk was calm, but we were stuck in traffic. So even though it was a 40-minute journey, it actually took us maybe an hour and 15 to actually get into Chandni Chowk. So we finally get there, we have a browse, we go to a few shops on the main street, like opposite the McDonald's and stuff like that. And we start browsing and stuff, so that's all good and well. One of the other cab experiences that we had though, so on one of the nights, this was on like the last night, we got a cab, and that night we'd collected all of our shopping. So we were buying stuff and leaving it with them, because we're like, we're gonna be here again tomorrow, so we'll just collect it on the last day, so we're not taking loads of stuff every time. So we collected the bulk of our shopping, we got a cab, and we were on our way back to our hotel. It was about 10 p.m. at night, I want to say, and we were en route. At that point, we'd kind of, like, my dad and my cousin had kind of gotten familiar with the roads, the main like dual carriageways and things that would lead us towards our hotel area and then back. They got kind of familiar with it. So we were on the way back to the hotel, and then the cab driver takes a turning into a side road. So instead of going on and joining the dual carriageway, he takes a turn into this dingy little side road. It's all dark, there's no cars, there's just like some back alley, and he turns his headlights off. Literally, we were all shitting our pants, my dad and cousin included, because we were like, crap, this is it, we're about to get mugged. Like, what is he doing? Why is he turning away from the main road? Why has he turned his headlights off? Like, where is he going? And he was going, and it looked like he was going towards a dead end. We were like, oh my God, he's pre-planned this with like some of his other people that he knows, and they're gonna mug us. Like, we don't know what to do. And then like my dad and my cousin were trying to talk to him, be like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you know, you need to get back on the main road. This is not the way. We know the way to the hotel. Where are you going? And he was just saying, the driver was just saying, no, this is a shortcut. I know this shortcut. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. It's just a shortcut, blah, blah, blah. And literally we were like, there's literally nothing we can do. What can we do? We're stuck. We're locked in this cab. We've got all of our shopping, literally my bridal outfit, everything, all of our shopping with us. We're in some dark alley with a random taxi driver that we do not know, and we do not know where we're going. So then we were like about to shit bricks, and then luckily he turned the corner and you can see the dual carriageway. He's like, no, I told you, it's just a shortcut to the dual carriageway. And then he went and joined back into the dual carriageway. So that was a really scary experience. We almost thought everything was gonna get stolen, mugged. We was done for out there, and that was it. So we were super scared that time. Another time we had an issue with a cab driver was another night at like 11ish. We were getting a cab to go back home. So again, it was Uber. I feel like they don't have much Uber security out there. Like, you know how in the UK you feel semi-safe or kind of safe in an Uber because they're all licensed and they're all tracked and stuff. I don't know if it's like that in India, but these Uber drivers were just so dodgy. Like, majority of them were really dodgy. So this other one that we had at 11 o'clock at night, found it hard to first of all get an Uber. So we struggled to get an Uber. We finally got one. We got inside it. We were on the way home, and then the guy starts dozing off or falling asleep or something at the wheel. So he's at the wheel and his eyes are closing, and he's like swerving on the dual carriageway. He's like swerving and his eyes are closing, and we were like, shit, what is wrong with him? Like, and then my dad prodded him and tried to wake him up. He's like, yeah, no, I'm fine. And then his eyes are closing again, and then we were like, okay, let's all speak really loud so he can't sleep. So we were all conversating really loud. We were like laughing, cracking jokes, this, that, the other, trying to be noisy so he can't sleep. That also wasn't really working. And then my dad was like, do you want water or do you want something? And then my aunt had the great idea of giving the guy, you know, those Treba or Treba, whatever, those soft mints that are so strong. She had a pack of those in her bag, and she goes, give it to the guy. And then so my dad gave him one. He's like, no, I don't want it. He chucked it out the window. She gave him another one, and my dad's like, you have to have this, like have this mint. He put it in his mouth, and his eyes literally went ping, and he was like wide awake. And then he chucked it out after like a minute or two, because obviously it was too strong. And then my dad's like, what's wrong with you? Like, at that point as well, because it was so late at night, we couldn't just tell him to pull over on the side of the road and get off and wait for another Uber, because who knows if we'll be able to even get another Uber, or what we're gonna do with that, or how it would work. So we kind of just had to firm it just till we get to our hotel. So again, that was another freaking scary experience with an Uber driver. It literally felt so unsafe there, you guys. When I tell you, I felt so stressed the entire time. So moving on to day 3, I was super stressed the entire time. Like, first of all, our hotel was shit. Second of all, we're so far away from where the shopping area is. Third of all, we don't know these people. They're all strangers. You don't know if they're gonna scam you. You just don't know anything. So I was fully stressed that on the 3rd day, I ended up having a mental breakdown. I had really bad anxiety the entire time. Like, I couldn't eat properly. I couldn't sleep properly. I was just so anxious the entire time. And on the 3rd day, it all kind of just hit home, and I was just so scared and nervous and just had like a massive mental breakdown. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, it's too scary. The conditions are too horrible. Like, I can't believe I'm staying in a hotel room where I have to sleep on my pajama bottoms as my pillowcase because it's all wet and sticky and gross, and the bathroom is nasty. And literally, I was only able to firm it because it was for my own wedding shopping. If it was for any other reason, I would be like, nope, I'm out of here, goodbye. Like, but I had to firm it, and I was just literally just stressed to the absolute max. Also that night we did a bit more of our shopping. We got some shopping done, some browsing done, blah blah blah, and then we went to this food place called Kareem's. Those of you who have been to Delhi, you probably know of it. It's actually a restaurant from the Mughal time. How do you pronounce it? Mughal times? You know, like the Taj Mahal, the owner of Taj, it was from that time, and it was one of the best places I have ever eaten in my life. Not that I ate that much because I was too stressed. They had like the proper traditional old school kitchen where it was all open. They were cooking in these massive like metal pans. The women were sat there making naan breads from hand, like you see them spinning it and stuff, like in a you know, the traditional style oven thingy that you bake it in. It was banging food, and there was a long queue, and the food was piping hot. It smelled good, their service was nice. It was a really good place to eat. They even had like a little plaque on the wall that said that they're from like 1914 or whatever the year was, and how they got established as a restaurant and who the owner was, how they managed to retain the recipe from those times, and that's the recipes that they still use. So that was really good. That was really nice. That was probably one of the best meals that we had out there. So that was day 3 more or less done. Most of it just ended up me being a hot mess because I was just too nervous and too anxious and whatever. So moving on to day 4. Day 4 we picked my wedding outfit, so the outfit for my big day. We went to the first shop that I had noted down that I wanted to check out for my bridal outfit, which was called Jabra International. I'll put a picture up here for you guys so you can see what it looks like. So we went in there. They are owned by Sikhs, and the owner was really lovely. You know, he got us seated. We said that we wanted to look for my bridal outfit, and I saw maybe about 3 or 4 options before I picked which one I wanted. So personally, I felt like I didn't want to look at too many options, otherwise I would just get confused. But I wasn't closed off. I thought, oh, you know, this is the first store, so we'll have a little look. If I find it, great. If not, we'll continue looking at the other shops that I'd written down. But we looked at about 3 outfits, and then we found one that kind of matched everything that I was looking for in an outfit. But when they showed it to me, it was in an ivory / cream sort of a colour. But the style, the work, the fabric, the border, all of that stuff was exactly what I wanted. And then we asked them, you know, is it possible to customize it? Can I change the color? You know, how does it work? Like, how do I go from here? Because I really like this one. And then they had checked in their other like warehouse place that they had, and they said, we've got one in pink. If you want to see that, bear with us. We'll have to get the guy to go run and go bring it. So we were like, okay, we'll wait around. And we waited around. They sent a guy who went and got it in pink, and he brought it back and it was in hot pink. So the original colour that I kind of wanted for my wedding outfit was more of like a raspberry pink, more like, how do I explain it, like a reddish pink. So it's not quite red and it's not quite pink. It was like in between, or like a berry type of colour. But obviously you can't have everything. So when I saw this outfit, it was in hot pink, but literally everybody fell in love with it straight away, including me. And I was like, you know, what if I find the perfect colour outfit, but I have something that's got a massive border and I'm really short? Like, I don't want a huge border, and I don't want there to be so much work you can't see the colour of the fabric of the outfit. So all of those things considered, I felt like, you know what, I really like this and I don't want to let it go, because this is the only pink piece that they had. And also, I know you can like put your sizing and stuff and leave it with them and then they'll send it over to you, but I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to take my outfit with me when I left India. I didn't want to leave it for them to alter or whatever. So we were like, you know what, we'll go for it. So they took my measurements so they can adjust it to my size. The blouse piece comes unstitched, and I thought, you know, I'll just stitch that closer to the time of the actual wedding back in the UK. So I wasn't bothered about that. And overall, I am so glad that I went with my wedding outfit. I will put a picture here for you guys so you can see. I feel like if I was to get this in the UK, it would probably cost me 2 grand plus, but in India it cost me 1/3 to a quarter of that if you include like flights to go out there and get it in the first place. And it had pretty much everything that I was looking for. So I was really happy about that. So that was my outfit done. So we then went on to get everybody else's outfits. So that day I had picked my bridesmaids outfits. I went to another shop and basically I had 7 bridesmaids, not including my 2 sisters, who I wanted to pick mint outfits for. So found all of their outfits in one store. Again, got a really good price, like all of them were under 100. Yeah, in the UK they would definitely cost a lot more than £100. So I got all of their outfits sorted. Again, their blouse pieces came unstitched. Only 2 of my friends' blouses I got stitched out there because they were coming from abroad and they wouldn't have time to get their tops stitched in the UK when they got here. So what I did was I made like a little sheet that had how to take all your measurements. So it had like a male figure, and then I did one for a female figure, and then like where all the measurements were. You know, you can just search the template online. So I downloaded one of those. Then next to it I put like chest dash, waist dash, leg length or skirt length or sleeve length, blah blah blah. And then I got them to measure how and they wanted their blouse to be, what their size was, their bust, their chest, their this, their that. They filled out the little form for me. I printed it all out and I took it with me when I went to India. So I had everyone's exact measurements, whose outfits I got made out there. And so then I gave that to the tailors. They stitched it within like an hour or 2. It was done, ready to be collected. Not my uncle. The Why do I need to sneeze?